one example. Let's defend the government a little bit here. We're going to need that government now. Gibbons versus Ogden. Ogden is granted a monopoly of the New York waterways. If you want to ship your goods into New York, the state of New York has given him a monopoly. Well, they call it a permit. Well, we just gave him a permit saying he can control the waterways. You gave him a monopoly of the New York waterways. The New York waterways, if you want to ship goods in or out, you have to talk to Ogden. Like, well, Ogden charges too much. Doesn't matter. It's his waterway. Well, Ogden's slow. Isn't there another way? Too bad. It's his own waterway. The New York government gave him a monopoly. Just like Subway was the only place in the mall. You had to pay their price, and you only got to get the sandwiches they want. I wanted bologna. Well, this really happened. This was Ogden had this, so he will be sued by Gibbons, who used to work with him. Now, Gibbons is like, this is ridiculous. Ogden takes 3 days. If you let me start shipping stuff, I can get it there faster, and I can get it there at a lower price. And maybe some other ships can get in. We got a bunch of different shipping companies competing, which will lower prices for consumers and will make it faster for consumers. New York gave me the exclusive right to these waterways, says Ogden. These here waterways are mine. Well, New York can't do that. It is an interstate waterway, says Gibbons. It's an interstate waterway. And since it's interstate, it's up to the U.S. government to make that law. So it goes to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court looks at it and says, yeah, that's right. This is interstate commerce, meaning between states. And that power, according to the Constitution, is reserved for Congress, and it's in the Commerce Clause. The Commerce Clause of the Constitution says when it comes to interstate business, only those laws can be made by the Constitution. So look, let's call them out on it. Supreme Court knows the Constitution, though. The Commerce Clause refers to Article 1, Section 8. It's always Article 1, Section 8. Any trivia question, what part of the Article 1, Section 8? Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3 of the U.S. Constitution says the power to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among several states is for Congress. So these waterways, all the laws dealing with the New York waterways, those laws have to be made by Congress. It's their power. The Constitution gave that power to Congress, not the individual states. Therefore, interstate navigation fell under the federal government. New York could not interfere. This is not New York's power. They cannot give these permits. And so, boom, Ogden's permit is invalid. It's thrown away. He no longer has a monopoly. Anyone can ship goods in and out. This is government involvement in the economy. Government getting involved in business decisions, also reviewing the Constitution to help out the people. Now, they didn't do this like we want to help the people. The Supreme Court did this because this was the law. But it did help the people. All right, talking about the division of North and South. Tariffs again. The tariff of 1820